sibling rivalry, rap, and dynamic black family circumstances, you know it's a sign me right on up. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with a new series alerts. I am watching Champion on Netflix. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notification because I will be breaking down every single episode of the first season, and there are 8 of them. So 8 new videos coming at you, and you don't want to miss when they are published, okay? I am hooked on a series, and shout out to Cindy who told me I needed to watch it. You were 110% right. Aside from it being us, because you know I watch everything black, right? It has such amazing nuanced layers. So on the surface, it's a show about a black boy, a rapper who's had a few knocks in life, but is still aspiring to, you know, rap superstardom in London and fame. But it gets a little bit tricky because he also has an equally talented sister who has really been propping him up all along, writing his raps, supporting his career, working as his assistant after he got out of prison and is trying to reclaim or come back to his career because a prison stint actually interrupted it. And come to find out, he's 100% fine with allowing her to occupy the space that she currently is in and no other. He sees no growth on the horizon for her. He don't want her to be a star because he's supposed to be the star. And then to make matters worse, their entire family dynamic conspires to support that thesis, y'all. The mama, this is my baby boy. The father is too dependent financially on the baby boy. And both of them are looking at her like, girl, don't do too much. Don't say too much to your brother. Don't anger him. Don't this, don't that. And it's like, well, what about her dreams? What about her talents? And when I tell y'all, it hit me right in my throat. Because while I didn't experience this, you know, word for word, bar for bar, I do understand very intimately the conversation and the actual experience of being a strong-willed, talented, ambitious black woman and in a family that kind of coddles men, that puts men first, that always excuses any poor behavior or lackluster performance for the males. But when it comes to the women of the family, they always have to be accountable. They always have to be responsible. They always have to show up. They always have to do all of the things. So in watching this with every passing frame, I'm like, girl, Vita, I understand. I feel you. And I'm so sorry, Miss Mamas. However, when we arrive at the end where she decides that she gonna stand up, go for what's hers, regardless of what uncomfortability or stress this causes her brother, I was able to stand up and triumph as well. Because what is champion versus champion? And that's actually the title of this episode. But let's take it back to the very beginning. We meet these characters earlier on when they're children. It looks like they're like probably like middle school. And we get to see Bosco rapping. And then when the camera pans over, you see that he's rapping to a rap artist on TV, but his sister's also looking at the TV and rapping as well. And maybe her flow and her swag is a little bit too nice, but he gets jealous and he throws down a little plastic mic that he has and he's all frustrated. And then the parents come in and they tell her that they need to look after one another. And the father, you can hear, he's off screen, but you can overhear him saying she needs to basically chill out. And basically Bosco is the star. And this is literally the theme that carries throughout the entire first episode, and I'm sure the entire series. The mom wants to make sure Bosco is always comfortable, make sure that he's always front and center, want to make sure he's always smiling. And if Vita does anything, including just rapping a song that she knows as well, in her essence, in her glory, in her light, and it bothers him, then now she has to stop. And the little patriarchal father is just going to double down in that because he puts men before women, naturally. And then from there, y'all, oh wait, before I actually leave there, before that scene ends, we get to see young Vita just sit and watch and quiet herself. And to me, this is a visual cue that she's actually going to continue to enjoy this art form that she loves, this artist that she loves. But this is the telltale sign of like, okay, she's learning to be silent. She's learning to be small. She's learning to take up less space so that she can enjoy whatever it is that she's interested in, but also not be chastised by her parents or confronted by her brother. Hate this for her. From there, we're ushered to the scene of Bosco's first performance since getting out of jail. And he's having an anxiety attack in the back while she's running around getting oat milk and water. And these are all specialty things for him because what? She's his assistant. And she's the one who has to calm him down once she realizes that this is what's going on and why he's, late to set. And in this one moment, in this one scene, you really get to see how much of his foundation, but also it feels like the family's foundation is built on this young black woman's shoulders. It's incredible to watch, but also a little bit saddening, especially as you go on, because she's able to get him to breathe. She's able to ground him. She reaffirms him, gives him affirmations, and then gets him to the stage. And before he can actually make it on there, we get to see a bout with him and his so-called rival. But then when he's on stage, he seems like he has a wonderful performance. He brings his mama up on stage in a segment that he decides to dedicate to the most important black woman in his life, which is his mama, which is no shade to that. However, Vita thought maybe he was going to bring her up because what? She writes charades. She the one that just got your ass on stage when you thought that you weren't going to be able to do it, and you thought that nobody believed in you and nobody wanted to see you. Very interesting choice. And you get to see her watching him perform. And for me, in the initial watch, actually, I watched it twice at this point. In none of the watches that I've seen thus far, do I think that Vita in this moment was looking at him with envy in her eyes or jealousy. I think she wants to be included. I think she wants to be appreciated. And it would be a different story if she wasn't writing his raps, if she wasn't keeping his life afloat, if she wasn't propping up his career. Then maybe she could not have any kind of expectations at all, which I'm assuming some people would say. But I think she has very valid expectations and not overreaching expectations, unlike her brother, who seemingly has overreaching expectations of her. And it feels like a slap in the face when he pulls his mama up on stage, because I don't know if this is the truth, it wasn't confirmed, but even Vita lip syncing the song that he actually chose to do when bringing his mama up, it seems like she wrote that as well. And then when the performance is about to end, we get to see their father, who does not actually vibe with his choice of bringing the mother up there, feeling like he's showboating too much. So his father is not even happy, but also the father has no problem with Vita taking a back seat to Bosco in his career. Now from there, y'all, we get to go to a birthday party. It's his 25th birthday party that they're having in the mom's backyard. And we just get further confirmation of Vita's place in his family versus Bosco's place in his family. And Vita is already having frustrations with the mom, even though she lives with her mama. So girl, that's something that you're going to have to change if you want to make any kind of real change. And we get to see, Bosco is literally a mama's boy. She just dotes over him. And yes, it's his birthday. Yes, some of that is to be expected, but you can definitely get like what the writer was trying to do and what trying to communicate to the audience, because it's very clear the non-equality amongst the siblings as it pertains to the parents and how the parents regard both of the siblings. Now, also at this birthday party, we get to meet her best friend Chantelle, who believes in her, who's like, girl, you need to do what you got to do for you, and tries to cheer her up. And she's going to be very important because she's the one who brings Vita to the studio to sing on the track with Bosco's arch nemesis. And then she gets pissed at Vita because they like Vita's voice over her voice and don't want to actually use her. So for me, once we get to that part, I'm like, damn, Vita cannot catch a break. In addition to the only people who actually affirm her talents and push her to do anything more are her white boyfriend, who is also Bosco's best friend, and her best friend. And then her best friend turns her back on her because she wants to be in the limelight as well. So it feels like it's not even altruistic when she is affirming Vita early on in the episode and telling her like, girl, you need to do what you got to do for yourself, because at the end of the day, you just wanted her as an end to go and try to sing yourself because you thought you weren't good enough, and then you wound up proving y'all's right, I guess. Now, also at Mama's house, we learned during this party before the cops break in and arrest Bosco again on some bullshit. How you gonna break in and arrest this boy for a noise complaint at a house when all these other people were here? He's not even the owner of the house. That very much so gives targeted, but I'm gonna come back to that. We also learned that Bosco is a father. He is not with his child's mother, but he wants to be, and his child's mother has moved on to his rival's manager. Yeah, it's complicated. Very complicated. Now back to the arrest, which is super traumatic, going down while they're trying to sing happy birthday to him, and I'm just like, Lord, his daughter is there holding the cake, and the feds come in all angry and aggressive behind what Mama got to jump in everybody's face, and Vita is the first one to jump in the car, and she is going after her brother. She gives Bosco's manager Dawn a call, who was too busy trying to look up a YouTube tutorial on fixing her hair or whatever the hell this is, to pay attention. She doesn't want to get a lawyer, pay for a lawyer to go down there and get Bosco out. And this just further confirms that Vita has Bosco's best interests at heart and all the people around him don't. Meanwhile, he doesn't fully see her. Once he actually gets out, because they let him out a little bit later, Vita actually asks, like, yo, can I be your manager? I'm the one who goes hard for you. I'm there. He's like, I'll think about it. Did he think about it? Hell no, because the next day we end up at the record label where he's getting pitched some stuff that he don't actually want to do, and he didn't call Dawn and brought Dawn in. Meanwhile, he has not taken the time to even have a conversation to say, sis, I thought about it and I'm gonna go ahead and stay with Dawn. You like to ambush her and have Dawn running in late because she doesn't prioritize you, she don't care about you, and she just sees you as dollar signs, which is proof, because once you get your goofy ass into this meeting, the white people talking about they want to turn you into Jailbird Rock and make a ton of money off of all this locked up imagery and having you look like a caged animal because that's what's going to sell a bunch of records. You ain't feeling it, but Dawn, all she sees is dollar signs, and she's like, yeah, he'll do it, even though you literally just say, I don't know if I want to do that. But Vita's wrong. But at the end of the episode, you talking about Vita selfish and she's always been jealous? No, she's always had your best interest at heart, and you cannot cut off your nose to spite your face. And it's sad. Now, while this whole meeting is going down, y'all, I'm going back to Chantelle, who gets Vita to come, fakes an emergency, and is wound up at the studio. So then they start testing a track for Bosco's rival, and they actually sound very good. So much so that they love her voice, but don't actually love Chantelle's, and they want her to stay. The rival's manager literally says, I can make you a star. Then we get the most heartbreaking dialogue from Vita. The most heartbreaking dialogue ever, because she's talking about she's not a star. That's not how things work in her family. And it's like all of these reasons why she cannot accept help to be able to launch her career and be able to chase her own dreams. Because it's not that she don't have these dreams. It's that she was told that she's not allowed to have these dreams. So she's been suppressing them her entire life. So in her talking to the manager, you just hear her saying no for every reason except for her own. All of these reasons that have been programmed into her, and it's so sad, but it's so true and so relatable in reference to what some black women might experience in their family, specifically older. So this is interesting that she's the younger sister and she's experiencing this, but again, it's very relatable to what some well-to-do, talented, ambitious black women might experience in their family, because their lives become around serving the men in their family, propping up the men in their family. And literally, she don't need Bosco, the mama, or the daddy to be here to literally look opportunity by way of this manager in the face and say, no, I'm not going to do that. That would hurt my brother. That would go against what my family wants. That would not be in line with what I've been told to do. I have to follow orders. No, you don't. And I'm so glad by the end of the episode, after Bosco comes in here, not even apologizing for not having a conversation with you first, not even that he owed you to be the manager, but not even after apologizing for that, he comes in here asking for a favor, asking for you to write a damn song. You actually have one, but then that song is a little bit too real, because why you want to make it seem like I got feelings? This is what's actually going to move the needle and make you seem like an artist with some sense, but okay. Then she sits and tells him, like, this opportunity came to me, and you want to turn up your nose? You want to scoff up your face? You want to look at me like and laugh as if I'm not capable of holding down the stage, as if I'm not capable of making songs, as if I'm not capable of being a star? Because what? You are? Then Bosco goes into this whole rant about how he always knew it was going to be like this. She was always jealous and she was always going to have an issue. Sir, if you always knew that, then why the hell did you build your career off of her songs? If you always knew that, why the hell did you build all of your foundation on her back? Seems to me that there is no Bosco the rapper without Vita. And when she decides to take her ass down the road and do some other things, what you gonna do? You finna go on tour. You need to make an album. They want to locked up, da-da-da-da-da. And you already came in here with your tail between your legs asking for a song. But you have the nerve to twist up your damn mouth and smile and laugh and kiki and ha-ha as if I am nothing more than your damn assistant, the waitress at our failing ass family business. And your songwriter? Bosco, go to hell, and I'm finna go to the studio. It's champion versus champion, and you know what? I don't know if you got what it takes. Daddy told you to get ready because you wanted to immediately turn on these opportunities, and he needs his rent paid, and it's already late. He told you earlier to get ready. I'm telling you to get ready now because it's on, ho. It is on. When I tell you, Vita had me so gassed by the end of this episode, y'all. I'm so ready for Miss Mama to take him down. And it's not even that I wanted him to fail. I just don't like the disrespect. I don't like the dismissal, especially when it's towards black women, well-intentioned black women who carve out space in their lives to enrich other lives, to support others' lives, to support others' dreams. And you can't even return the favor by wishing me well. I didn't even ask you for nothing because the last time I did ask you for nothing, you wasn't even man enough to tell me no to my face. You just put me in an awkward ass ambush situation. So I'm not even asking you for nothing. The least you could do is say, you know what, sis, you're talented. Go ahead, do what you got to do. But no, we need to focus back on us. We want to lean into our narcissistic bag and we want to say, oh, well, how is this going to affect me? Who gives a shit how it affects you? Because we don't. Yeah, it's Street Team Vita over here. Y'all, I'm enjoying the show if you can't tell. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not watching Champion, please go and watch it because, again, I'm dropping new videos for each episode. And if you have already watched it, please do not spoil the series. I should have said this at the beginning. Do not spoil the series for anybody else. Only drop your thoughts on episode 1 in this comment section as I will have new videos for every episode of this season. And I promise you, you're going to love it. If you haven't started watching it, you should. It's your good sis, you love to talk TV with, and I'm going to see you in my next Champion video.